Don't do it, says Tom Lee. Hi there, lovely individuals. Greetings, XRP holders and Peepo Coin channel. We had a lot to discuss. We're going to jump right back into it after I've been gone for the last 24 hours traveling halfway around the world. I just ask that you smile at me so that I can radiate those positive feelings. Because it's Saturday and Saturday likes are free, Smishity hits the like button. Let's get started. Don't claim I don't spoil you. As of right now, XRP is up 2.5% for the day at $2.35. In fact, XRP fell. When I arrived at the airport, I thought, whoa, what's going on? In fact, the entire cryptocurrency market saw XRP fall to 2.19, but it has subsequently increased by roughly 8% or 9%. As you can see, XRP has rebounded beautifully from its bottom, which was around 7.5 hours ago, to roughly 9.5 this morning. Additionally, Bitcoin fell all the way to 103,000. In fact, I have noticed certain commentators who have been saying things like crypto influencers, crypto analysis, and so on, implying that this is the only thing. Everything has ended and the bull market has been annulled. Pay attention. Since I have no idea what the market will do on a daily basis, I will never advise you to buy, sell, or hold. Not financial advice, of course. Always conduct your own research before making an investment. However, remember that every time it seems like everything is going to end, it's going to be over, and it's going to be awful. However, there is typically a run-up following that. When we do, we observe the significant reversal that occurs during euphoria. Euphoria was not yet upon us. Once more, perhaps this time is different and there won't be any euphoria, although I would be shocked if it were to occur. Alright, I did notice something amusing now. Nick from a coin bureau tweeted out some important news, but I'm not sure if everyone realized it was a hoax. Crypto capital gains will be abolished by the Trump administration. You do realize that this was a joke? Let me reiterate, this was a joke. Well, in essence, it's stating that everyone's portfolio has declined as a result of the Trump administration's actions on China, which is why people won't be able to profit from cryptocurrency. That's how they got rid of it. Indeed, it is a depressing joke, isn't it? However, as I already stated, I don't really consider such kinds of things in the long run. Once more, it's a completely different situation if you are short-term and engage in both swing and day trading. You must capitalize on momentum. You capitalize on whatever negative momentum that exists. You capitalize on whatever positive momentum that exists, all right? Now, our partner, BTCC, will provide you the chance to do so if you're interested. You have the option to go long or short if you're interested. Please trade responsibly. The link is in the description below. Leverage has helped me make a lot of money, but it has also cost me a lot of money. Therefore, please exercise extreme caution. Go over the user agreements. Make sure you comprehend the advantages and disadvantages of applying leverage. Additionally, I will receive a commission if you click on my link. I am grateful for that. We are currently experiencing a significant sell for XRP. For Bitcoin, we are at a strong sell. For Ethereum, we are at a strong sell. We may infer that from all of the moving averages. What have we previously witnessed? When we experience a heavy sell, it typically indicates that a flip is imminent. Again, perhaps that doesn't occur, but this is what I've observed in this cycle over the last 6 to 10 months. Everyone believes it's over when we reach this point where we're making a lot of sales. Isn't this the final time? At that point, we typically observe an upward movement. Furthermore, I am uncertain whether we are in a bull trap or a bear trap. Perhaps. I'm not sure, but I have a strong long-term bullish outlook. Therefore, if it requires an additional cycle, then it does. You know I'm paying attention. The Lambos and the will not be purchased by me. The Felipe Patek watches, you know. Therefore, I don't mind if it occurs now, in 2 years, or in 5 years. Correct. Additionally, I am aware that folks are currently feeling a little pessimistic about the cryptocurrency market and XRP. But despite one huge sell-off and liquidation, my thesis on the cryptocurrency market hasn't altered. All right, let's return to the most recent news. As you can see, unlike what President Trump claimed, Justin Whitehouse, the economic advisor, has stated that we are not engaged in a trade war with China. Well, no, replies the White House economic advisor. Additionally, Treasury Secretary Besson stated that Vice Premier Li Feng and I had a thorough and candid conversation about U.S.-China trade this evening. Next week, we'll get together in person to continue our conversation. They are therefore attempting to reach a decision on this. I hope it arrives quickly. China wants to negotiate, according to President Trump. We enjoy communicating with China. A U.S.-China trade agreement is unavoidable. Apparently, that's our destination. We believed it was finished already. It isn't. The market is essentially frightened out by that. Listen, the hallmark of any bull market is the rapidity of pullbacks, which causes swings to gradually become overbought. We're witnessing just that in gold, stocks, and cryptocurrency. At the moment, comebacks are weak and sell-offs are powerful. Yes, I see. It is a component of the game. Correct. It's possible that we're at the lowest point of the year, solely based on sentiment and people's emotions. However, we are aware that we arrived here from 260 to 195. Even lower than. Correct. Within this pocket. Recall that we were higher. It started at 160 and proceeded up to 266. We descended to 180. Then what? Boom. That rally was up. All right. As a result, things can happen and alter very quickly. All right. The cryptocurrency market is really active. Hey, it's crucial to keep that in mind. Therefore, the issue is, are we seeing the second phase where everyone thinks that pump top is in and October is canceled? I've read calls for Bitcoin to plummet to 80,000. They want everyone to think that way after the crash. The market always drops one more time, like on Friday, to get rid of everyone who is waiting for the crash. That explains why, in the past 24 hours, there have been 1.2 billion liquidations. In reality, every reason that is currently unfavorable is bullish. A major crisis makes Bitcoin bullish, and the Fed may begin QE sooner. The U.S.-China trade war has already occurred, and Trump's optimistic post claiming that the U.S. and China have reached an agreement will be the next step. Bullish factors, right? Weakness in job data is bullish for rate reduction. Right now, there is a 100% chance that rates will be lowered in the next week and a half. For a quarter, we have 94.8%, and for 0.5%, we have 5%. It looks like we're headed for a quarter. Once more, this bodes well for the cryptocurrency industry. All right, very, very crucial to keep in mind. Tom Lee responds, "Hey, I know why markets are nervous." Last week, the U.S.-China conflict was a big factor. Concerns about cockroaches on private credit. Although there are always fireworks in October, the mood is generally bad. The contrarian good is equivalent to AII. Furthermore, just 22% of fund managers are outperforming the benchmark. Chase is the result of that. What exactly is Tom Lee trying to tell us here? Listen, you have no idea what's going on, he adds. Many fund managers have fallen short of their annual targets. Correct. Many of these fund managers were out of the market and sold for losses as a result of the events in April. Missed the pump in the out-of-market. However, they are no longer meeting their standards. In essence, he is telling us that they would make every effort to push the market. For instance, they received their Christmas bonus or end-of-year bonus when the year draws to a close and Christmas approaches. I appreciate you watching. Next time, I hope to see you, and let's make a lot of money, as I usually say.